I am just a country bumpkin. While I was up in the mountains gathering herbs, I was suddenly stopped by a refined, aloof woman who brought people with her to block my way. She told me that I was actually the second-generation heir of a wealthy family, that I had lost my memory and wandered outside for 3 years. Now she had specifically come to take me back to the Wong family. I was standing there completely dumbfounded when a row of magical bullet comments suddenly appeared before my eyes. On them it said, "It's over. The male lead has been amnesiac for 3 years, he already married that tribal girl. In the previous life, the female lead, as his fiancée, forcibly brought people to tie the male lead up and drag him back to the Wong family, forcing him to fulfill their engagement. As a result, the tribal girl jumped into the river and killed herself that very day. Who would have thought that after the male and female lead stayed together until old age, the male lead still resented the female lead for forcing the death of the female supporting character? His dying wish was actually that in his next life, he wouldn't want to regain his memory. This time, our big female lead has already accumulated enough disappointment. Since the male lead likes wildflowers by the roadside, then let's respect his choice and wish him well." I glanced at the woman in front of me. With a look of disgust, she said, "I'm not close to you. Your grandfather asked me to come." The next second, I smiled and replied, "All right then, wait here. I'll go get my wife and we'll head back together." As soon as the words left my mouth, the woman in front of me let out a cold snort. Again and again. Chapter 1. Save me. There's a random, ridiculously beautiful woman standing next to me, snorting non-stop, one after another, like the pigs in our village. To stop her, I made awkward small talk. "What's your name?" The woman lowered her eyes and said in a cool voice, "Willow." At that moment, the bullet comments started flooding in again. Sigh. The female lead is so pitiful. They were childhood sweethearts. Who doesn't remember that on his 18th birthday, George pointed at Willow and said he would marry her? The female lead treasured the promise her whole life. So later, even after the male lead fell in love with the tribal girl, the female lead still couldn't let him go. That's why she came to force him to honor the engagement. In their previous life, they treated each other with polite distance for a lifetime. The female lead, a rich young lady who had never lifted a finger to do housework, managed the household for him, washed her hands to cook meals. And what did she get? She never managed to warm the heart of that ungrateful wolf of a male lead, not even until her death. Luckily, the female lead has been reborn. She's already accumulated enough disappointment. In this life, she won't have any entanglements with the male lead. It's all the tribal girl's fault for butting into their relationship. What a shameless homewrecker. What kind of nonsense is this? Mulling over the bullet comments, I returned to the village. A sudden summer wind rose, accompanied by the crisp clinking of silver ornaments. A tribal girl lifted the curtain and walked out. The bullet comments suddenly exploded. One comment read, "Wait, is this the so-called shameless homewrecker? She's breathtakingly gorgeous. Holy crap, I suddenly kind of understand the male lead. She's way too beautiful, cool porcelain skin, peach blossom eyes, and even a tiny beauty mark at the corner of her eye." The bullet comments do have good taste. Anna is the prettiest girl within miles around. Anna's peach blossom eyes glanced at the woman beside me. She smiled gently. "Honey, who's the auntie next to you?" Chapter 2. Under the unknown lady's cold snorts and dark expression, Anna and I returned to the Wong family estate. The moment we stepped through the doors, the elegant lady in front of me threw her arms around me and cried for a long time. My heart tightened with hers, and I couldn't help but tear up as well. That was when I learned that I was the only son of the Wong family. "My name is George Wong." After hearing about what had happened to me, Mother Wong glanced at Anna beside me, who was dressed in distinctive tribal clothing, her slender waist exposed. In a gentle voice, she said, "Thank you for saving my son. Here's 5 million. You can take it and return to your village." I immediately spoke up. "Mom, this is my wife. We're already married." Mother Wong's expression turned serious. "What nonsense are you talking about? Your fiancée is Willow. You two grew up together, understand each other, and your families are perfectly matched." She continued. "Look at her, bare midriff, earrings everywhere. What kind of image is that? Now look at Willow, graceful and refined, intelligent and capable, Mother Wong paused, then said, "In short, whether it's her appearance or her family background, she's impeccable. That's the kind of woman you should marry." I was speechless. The bullet comments started flooding again. Exactly, the female lead is the best. In her previous life, she stayed home as a housewife, an excellent cook, even knitted sweaters and scarves for the male lead. Sadly, she still couldn't warm his cold heart. Another comment read, "In this life, after giving up on him, she's determined to follow the strong female lead path, taking over the company and becoming independent and powerful. Wong family, stay away from our queen. She has no interest in marrying a scumbag." Scumbag. So now I'm the scumbag male lead. I thought about Willow's cold attitude just now and hurried to distance myself from her. However, before I could speak, Willow's clear voice rang out. She set down her teacup, her expression dignified and gentle. With a slight smile, she said, "Auntie, please don't say that. You're making me embarrassed." Behind me, Anna hooked her little finger with mine. Her eyes shimmered with moisture. Unable to bear it, I spoke up. "Mom, Anna saved me. For the past 3 years, she's taken care of me. Let's talk about this later." I smiled and added, "I've been back for half a day already, and I'm starving." I knew Mother Wang wouldn't accept Anna so easily, but Willow didn't intend to marry into the Wang family either. Once I told Mother Wang about Willow's true attitude tonight, she wouldn't think this way anymore. Realizing I was still hungry, Mother Wang finally took her seat. Anna sat down beside me, looking a little wronged. Chapter 3. To welcome me back. The dinner was lavish. One of the dishes, mango shrimp balls, looked pretty good. Anna loves sweets, but she was too shy to serve herself directly, so she carefully picked up a shrimp and placed it into my bowl first. Seeing how awkward and restrained she looked, I couldn't help but feel a pang of heartache. She said softly, "Gio, you eat this." Just as Anna was about to put the shrimp into my bowl, a cold voice cut in. "Housekeeper, please have this dish removed." I was still confused when Mother Wang smiled and explained, "George is allergic to seafood." The housekeeper is new and didn't know. I forgot to remind her. Luckily Willow remembered. Mother Wang shot Anna a glance, her voice rising even higher. "George, when you were little, you and Willow were childhood sweethearts. Don't you remember? You even gave Willow a nickname, Little Bunny. You always made her stay overnight at our house back then. Even now, there's still a room for Willow here." Mother Wang went on and on about the sweet memories of our childhood. The bullet comments started scrolling again. "Oh, what's going on with the female lead? Didn't she say she doesn't care anymore? Why does she still remember that the male lead is allergic to seafood?" Another comment replied, "Cut her some slack. That's muscle memory. In her previous life, she took care of him for an entire lifetime." I noticed Anna's face growing paler and paler. I hurriedly said apologetically, "I still don't really remember any of that." As soon as I finished speaking, my gaze fell on Willow, who was sitting across from me. Her hand, which was holding the cup, paused slightly. She lowered her eyes, as if hiding some emotion. She looked somewhat downcast. After dinner, a sudden torrential rain poured down. At Mother Wang's insistence, Willow stayed the night. The Wang family has a room reserved exclusively for her, right next to my bedroom. The rainstorm came fast and fierce. Late at night, Willow sat by the bed and opened the bedside drawer. Inside were all sorts of things related to George. The first certificate they won together in a 3-legged race, a little rabbit George made out of clay. He had teased her, saying it was her, calling her his cute little bunny, and the pinky ring George had given her. Willow still remembered George's clear eyes as he smiled at her and said, "Willow, I'll give you this for now, so I've claimed you. Next time, I'll replace it with a diamond." The cold ring was pressed against Willow's chest. The chill instantly snapped her back to reality. In her previous life, she had worked tirelessly, managing the household day after day. Yet she had never been able to warm George's heart. She still remembered his disappointed voice before he left. "Willow, I don't owe you anything anymore. In my next life, I don't want to regain my memory." Willow thought to herself, "George, in this life, I'll grant your wish. I won't cling to you anymore." She let out a cold snort. She packed all those things into a cardboard box and struck a match. Watching the blue flame lick at the box, Willow revealed a relieved, almost exhilarated smile. "Ah, wait a second. Setting a fire indoors isn't safe. It's a fire hazard." Willow immediately extinguished the flame. She checked inside. Fortunately, the certificates hadn't been burned. Only then did she feel at ease. The bullet comments fell silent for a moment before flooding in again. "Don't tell me the female lead can't bear to let go." Another comment shot back. "Impossible. Absolutely impossible. She's long since given up. Open flames indoors are a safety hazard. Our queen is a clear-headed, independent woman now, not some love-brained fool. She just doesn't want to start a fire. That's all." Another comment added, "The flame barely licked the box before it got put out." The next one replied, "Good night, little flame. Hope to see you again next time." Chapter 4. While Willow was wallowing in self-pity, a young girl's aggrieved voice drifted over from next door. It carried a bewitching sweetness in the night. Anna spoke coquettishly. "Gio, will you hold me?" Anna wants you to hold her. "Do the little bells sound nice? When Gio moves, they'll ring." She added softly, "That Willow looks so fierce, so cold. Her body definitely isn't as warm as mine." Willow's face instantly turned icy. The bullet comments began scrolling wildly. "Wait, this Anna has way too much service awareness. Where exactly are those bells? It's so hard to guess." Another comment followed. "This is outrageous. In the previous life, Anna wasn't brought back to the Wang family, so this never happened, and now the female lead has to hear this. Someone replied, "Relax, our queen won't care. In this life, she'll just respect his choice and wish him well, stay aloof, act deaf and blind." However, before the bullet comments even finished scrolling, Willow shot to her feet. She pushed open her door and strode across the hall. The elegance and composure were gone from her face. Bang, bang, bang. She pounded on the door opposite hers. The sounds inside abruptly stopped. I hurriedly threw on a coat and opened the door. Standing outside, I looked at Willow's dark expression in confusion. "What's wrong?" I asked. Willow's face was as cold as unmelting frost. Her voice was tight with restrained anger. "George, even if you've lost your memory, I have the obligation to remind you. The formal announcement of the broken engagement between our two families has not yet been released. I am still your fiancé. The Wang family and the Liu family are both prestigious households. If such indecent noises were overheard by the staff and spread outside, tomorrow's stock price would be affected. Please conduct yourselves with dignity." She bit down especially hard on the last few words. I instantly felt embarrassed. We had been married for 3 years. We're adults, this is normal. But she was right. It really wasn't appropriate. I said awkwardly. "Sorry, we'll be more careful." "You'd better," Willow replied coldly, then turned to leave. From behind me, Anna lazily said, "I want some water too. I'll walk Auntie back on the way." Anna slipped on my coat and followed her out. When the two of them reached Willow's door, Willow suddenly turned around. The noble, indifferent look on her face was now filled with disgust. In a voice only the two of them could hear, she said to Anna, "Shameless." Anna froze for a moment. Willow pressed further, her tone sharp with hatred. "Have you no dignity at all?" Anna's eyes curved as she smiled. She let out a soft laugh. "I have the capital to act this way. It's better than being some menopausal old woman." At the moment Willow turned away, Anna's fingers moved ever so slightly. The bullet comments exploded again. "Holy crap, that backwater tribal homewrecker cast a goo creature. Wait, she really knows witchcraft. Don't panic, everyone. It's just a love goo. It'll only make the female lead burn with desire at night. As long as our queen stays strong, cuts off love and emotion, the goo won't affect her." Another comment appeared. "Our queen is as detached as a chrysanthemum in autumn. She'll definitely be fine." The author explains that a goo creature is a kind of sorcery practiced by certain minority tribes, in which insects are used to control people. Chapter 5. The moment I heard that Anna had cast a goo creature on Willow, I immediately demanded that Anna hand over the antidote. Anna lowered her head like a pitiful little kitten. Her eyes were moist as she said, "Gio, she was the one who insulted me first. I just wanted to teach her a lesson." Would someone as dignified and refined as Willow really insult people? Anna can be sharp-tongued and sly. I couldn't help but doubt her. Seeing the suspicion in my eyes, Anna looked even more wronged. She bit her lip, turned her head away, and said in a trembling voice, "Anyway, I don't have an antidote." I felt helpless. I stood up, intending to check on Willow. Anna, sitting by the window, tugged at my sleeve. She looked up at me, her eyes shimmering. "Gio, as long as Willow has no feelings for you, she'll be fine." I recalled what the bullet comments had said, that Willow was detached and indifferent, as serene as a chrysanthemum. She should be fine. Anna wrapped her arms around my neck, her voice slightly husky. "All right, Gio, let's go to sleep. Anna will be good. I won't make any noise." Just as I was about to relax, the bullet comments panicked. "That vixen is harming our queen. The female lead is delirious from the burning heat. She's rolling around on the bed, slapping herself to stay awake. So pitiful. Sob, sob, sob." Another comment followed. "When is the plot twist coming? I don't want to see the female lead suffer anymore." True, everyone has desires. It was normal for Willow to be affected by the goo. I hadn't thought it through carefully enough. I gently removed Anna's arms and said calmly, "The antidote. Anna, you know I won't repeat myself a third time." Anna blinked her peach blossom eyes. Most of the time, her more malicious side took over, but she always listened to me. She slipped off her silver bracelet and placed it in my palm, speaking softly. "Just brush it against her face and it'll be fine. Gio, come back quickly." With the antidote in hand, I walked next door. As I reached the door, I heard Willow's voice. Unlike her usual cool tone, it was low and husky now, as if she were suppressing something. I knocked and said, "Willow, I've brought the antidote." The moment I pushed the door open, a soft body collided into my arms. I staggered back 2 steps and fell onto the sofa, barely having time to react. Willow bit down on my shoulder. It was almost a retaliatory bite. Her voice trembled as she said, "That bitch, how did she seduce you?" Her voice broke. I felt a tear fall onto my shoulder. The effect of this goo is way too strong. I quickly lifted the bracelet and brushed it against Willow's cheek. We waited a few seconds. Our eyes met. Her pupils were dark and unfathomable. like an undercurrent swirling silently beneath the surface. Impossible to read. The next second, footsteps echoed from outside the bedroom, Anna's. Willow seemed to hear it. She swiftly locked the bedroom door from the inside. Then, right in front of me, she threw the key out the window. I looked at her. Her cheeks were flushed, her breathing uneven. The antidote didn't work. I started. Hey, you. Before I could finish, she wrapped her arms around my neck and kissed me. She said, when you're young, you don't realize the charm of a mature woman, and mistake a naive girl for treasure. Can that little girl really take care of you? George, in the previous life, you never once touched me before you died. In this life, I won't keep waiting. In 2 lifetimes, I've always been a first. Why? Why should I be? I hate you. You hate me too, don't you? Then let's spend this life hating each other. Bitter fruit is still fruit. Willow's tears streamed down from her eyes. She was sitting on my lap, her whole body trembling. Then, she started. Smack. Through gritted teeth, I said. Willow, why are you doing this? Smack, smack. She choked out between sobs. We're engaged. I'm your little bunny. How could you forget me? Smack, smack, smack. Crying, she went on. George, my heart hurts. You like that bitch so much. Fine. I'll let you see her. Okay, you can stay with me Monday through Friday, and give her Saturday and Sunday, she said. But, George, I have to be the official wife. Oh my God. Willow was slapping herself while crying. The sharp sounds of the slaps mixed with her sobs. I felt like my head was about to split open. The bullet comments were losing their minds laughing. I'm dying. Weld the door shut and throw away the key. 1 man and 1 woman alone in a room. I thought we were about to watch something forbidden. And Willow, you locked the door just so you could cry louder. Is this for real? I already took my pants off and this is what you're showing me. I wanted to see a possessive, obsessive female lead forcing love. Another comment read. Stop slapping yourself. What if you slap yourself to death and have to reincarnate again? The next one replied. Face said. Speak for me. The last comment said. Seriously, Willow's like this and the male lead can still stay composed. Are you even capable? Never mind, you're actually a gentleman. I was speechless. Chapter 6. I quickly pulled her into my arms, stopping her from hitting herself. She quieted down instantly, like a small, broken animal that had finally found a place to belong. She leaned against me and gently rubbed her cheek against my palm. Her tears were still damp and warm. Time flowed silently. After about half an hour, I felt her trembling body gradually relax. The frightening flush on her skin slowly faded. The effect of the goo poison had finally passed. Willow, still in my arms, shifted slightly. Then her body suddenly stiffened. I lowered my head just as she looked up, our eyes meeting. Willow sprang out of my embrace. Because she moved too quickly, her head knocked hard against the cabinet behind her with a dull thud. Tears welled up from the pain, but she stubbornly endured it without making a sound. She quickly turned her back to me, fumbling as she straightened her clothes. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, she produced a compact powder case. Feigning composure, she touched up her makeup. Her voice became deliberately cold and distant. Just now, I was poisoned. What I said was not my true intention. Her voice was still slightly hoarse. Then her gaze slowly drifted away from me. You should go back. Don't keep her waiting. Her tone was intentionally stiff. I fell silent, mainly because she was acting so contradictory it was giving me a headache. I rubbed my lips. They were swollen from her kissing just now. Noticing my movement, her cheeks visibly flushed red, she let out a cold snort. I won't tell her about what happened tonight. I don't want to ruin your relationship. Thinking that none of this would have escalated like this if not for Anna, I said awkwardly. I'll make it up to you. But Willow misunderstood. She immediately flared up in anger. You think I'm threatening you? You think I'm some mistress trying to claw my way into position? What kind of person do you take me for? I hurried to explain. That's not what I meant. But she wouldn't listen. Lifting her chin proudly, her phoenix eyes cold and noble, she declared on her own. George, I'm not some naive, love-brained fool. I can cook and manage a household, but I can also carve out a world of my own. I won't stoop to fighting over a man out of jealousy. Chapter 7. After Willow left the Wong family. As the heir to the Wong family, I began taking over the family business. Anna stayed by my side. Father Wong and Mother Wong couldn't accept her. The rest of the Wong family couldn't accept her either. Anna understood this perfectly well. The lively girl from the village gradually grew quieter. I could clearly feel that she wanted to learn finance, learn management. She even wanted to learn cooking and tea ceremony properly so she could take better care of me. But she wasn't suited for any of it. The Anna in my memory was a breathtaking girl stepping out of the mountain mist. Now she was becoming more and more subdued, like a little butterfly drenched by rain. I began to feel sorry for her. One night, very late, I returned to the bedroom after finishing some documents, only to find that Anna was still awake. She was sitting on the floor, surrounded by a circle of lit candles. In the middle was my laptop, its screen filled with red and green stock K-line charts, and in her hand, she was holding a purple toad, muttering incantations under her breath. I was startled, afraid she was about to harm someone again. I hurriedly asked, "Anna, what are you doing?" Anna looked up at me, the corners of her eyes slightly raised, her gaze bright. "Gio, I'm calculating the market trend for you. I've been feeding this fortune-attracting toad for 5 days. Just now it jumped 3 times toward the water basin. Gio, if you buy shares of Orange Technology, they'll definitely rise." I looked at the toad hopping in place. The toad stared back at me. Ribbit. I felt like laughing, but after the laughter came a wave of bitterness. Anna didn't understand any of this. She only knew that I wanted to make money, that I wanted the Wang family to prosper. So she overextended herself, raising goo creatures to help me. It made me feel a little sad. Anna had always been proud. It was only after following me out into this world that she tasted what inferiority felt like, especially after attending banquets with me. She didn't understand dining etiquette. She didn't understand wine tasting. Sometimes when I was discussing business, she would be left standing alone. Someone must have mocked her, because when we returned home, she would rip off her evening gown and fling it aside. Barefoot, dressed in her meow attire again, her aggrieved eyes glistening, she said, "Gio, I'm not as good as Willow. She's well matched with you. She can help you manage the company and has so many topics in common with you," she said. "Anna only knows how to sing mountain songs, braid headpieces, and cook for you." She walked over and buried herself in my arms. As if suppressing some deep sorrow, she took out a red pill. Her voice trembled as she said, "Gio, this is a love-forgetting pill refined from poison insects. As long as you eat it, all feelings will be forgotten. Anna doesn't want to hurt anymore." Her voice was eerie and fragile at the same time. I was startled and quickly asked, "Anna, you're going to take it?" Anna looked at me and shook her head. A flash of malice crossed her beautiful eyes as she said slowly, "Gio, I mean, why don't we give it to Willow? That way she won't keep thinking about you or those people who laugh at me. We can give each of them one. Let them all become idiots." The bullet comments instantly exploded. "Unbelievable, unbelievable. Breaking Bad is here." Another comment read, "Devoted female lead. Just wait another lifetime." And well, the homewrecker does look pitiful, though it's kind of funny too. Chapter 8. Just as I had thrown myself into expanding the Wang family's business after returning home, Willow was doing the same. She worked overtime relentlessly, took on major projects, as if trying to prove something. Since the Wang family and the Liu family had long been business partners, it was inevitable that we would cross paths in the corporate world. Whenever I saw Willow, she was poised and dignified, her temperament cool and untouchable. Just as the bullet comments had predicted, she had truly become an independent leading woman. While I was silently respecting her and wishing her well, the Wang family received a marriage alliance proposal from the Liu family. The conditions offered by the Liu family were extremely generous, impossible to refuse. 30% of the shares. I couldn't quite understand Willow anymore, so I took the initiative to ask her out for a private talk. We met at a highly discreet private club. I brought Anna with me. When Willow saw Anna following behind me, her phoenix eyes swept over her briefly. She didn't even bother lifting her eyelids fully. In a cool voice, she said, "Next month, our families will proceed with the marriage alliance. The Liu family is willing to offer 30% of the shares as a gesture of sincerity. Of course, if you refuse, then for the South City project, Wang Corporation can look for another partner. But when Wang Corporation's cash flow collapses and you come begging me later, the terms won't be this generous," she continued. "As far as I know, you and Anna never registered your marriage legally. You are single. There is no need for you to have other concerns." At this point, her gaze lightly fell on Anna. "As for her, if you truly insist, you can keep her around like a pet." Willow lowered her eyes and took a sip of tea, carrying herself with the composed authority of the official wife. The bullet comments lit up. Didn't she say she was going to be an independent queen focusing on her career? Why is she getting married again? Another comment replied, "You don't get it. Before, she longed to be loved. Now she no longer seeks love. She's treating the male lead as a business partner and the marriage as part of her career. As long as she doesn't divorce him, anyone outside will always be the other woman. Wow, our queen is truly clear-headed." Willow then glanced at Anna again and said, "Since you seem to be serving him with some dedication, I'll allow you to remain by George's side. But don't act too ostentatiously in public. Don't damage the reputation of our two families, and tone down that seductive demeanor. From now on, you will report to me every morning. If I do not grant permission, you are not to be alone with George." Anna trembled with anger, her fingers shaking slightly, afraid she might cast another goo creature. I quickly grabbed her hand. Willow sat on the sofa, completely at ease. "Oh, and one more thing. From now on, don't wear bright red dresses. You should wear pink. The bullet comments scrolled wildly. Willow OS, red is reserved for the official wife. You pretentious coquette can only wear pink this lifetime and serve as background decoration. As expected of the leading woman, this time she must win. I remained silent. I looked up at Willow's calm face, confident, composed. I had to admit, she had offered terms that neither I nor the Wang family could refuse. A combination of pressure and persuasion. A masterful move. She was right. Anna and I had never registered our marriage legally. I was single. It didn't count as a formal marriage. And even if there were a marriage certificate, so what? Strip away emotions. And a legal marriage is ultimately just a property contract. But Anna. Chapter 9. My silence made Anna's face turn pale, but she still stayed close beside me, clinging obediently. I said calmly, I will carefully consider the conditions you proposed, but if you're hoping that this marriage alliance will make me fall in love with you, I can't do that. My memory hasn't returned. As far as you're concerned, I'm willing to cooperate, but there's no emotional foundation. I glanced at Anna beside me and added firmly, and Anna is not a pet. She is a free person. Please show her some respect. I know you've suffered too, but 3 years ago, Anna was the one who saved me. Anna has the kind of personality that takes a mile when given an inch. She immediately wrapped her arms around mine and raised her beautiful brows provocatively at Willow. Willow's hands, resting on her knees, tightened abruptly. Are you rejecting the marriage alliance? She asked. I answered decisively. No, because this is an agreement between two families. It's an integration of assets. I am George Wang, the future heir of Wang Corporation. I'm a practical man, not someone who chases illusions. Just as she can define marriage in legal terms, why can't I deconstruct marriage through profit and interests? As a businessman, I know very well that compared to romance and passion, power and money matter more. If what the bullet comment said was true, that in the previous life she tied me up and forced me back to the Wang family to marry, leading to Anna's death, then my statement about not wanting to regain my memory must have had a purpose. Considering that I said it on my deathbed, I was probably the one who died before Willow. Perhaps I said it deliberately to make her feel guilty, so she wouldn't seize all my assets without restraint. The moment I finished speaking, a flicker of joy flashed in Willow's eyes. She quickly lowered her gaze to conceal it. As for Anna, if she could understand, I would eventually give her an explanation. If she couldn't accept it, I still wouldn't treat her unfairly. I turned to her and said, Anna, you are my family. You are free. If you choose to stay, you don't have to follow Willow's rules. There are many rules here, but I can protect you. If you want to return to the village, I'll give you 30 million. I also hope you'll find your own happiness. Anna looked at me seriously and said, if Gio doesn't leave, then I won't leave either. I'll stay with Gio. I nodded. Then I shifted my gaze to Willow, silently asking for her stance. Willow's eyes circled slowly over Anna. Anna bit her red lip, lowered her head, and said softly, I'm willing to stay by Gio's side. I'll listen to you. You are my big sister. Willow pressed her thin lips together. A faint smile shimmered in her phoenix eyes. There was even a trace of vindictive satisfaction. The bullet comments scrolled in real time. Impressive. Willow's teaching victory. The female lead is so calculating, playing the homewrecker in the palm of her hand. Another comment added, Willow thinks she's winning big, but she's basically throwing herself at him for nothing. Chapter 10. The marriage alliance between the two families proceeded quickly. On the wedding day, Willow wore a custom-made wedding gown. Her figure was graceful and striking. Even her usually glacial expression softened into a smile. She had poured a great deal of effort into that gown. According to the bullet comments, some of the embroidery had been stitched by her own hand. Anna did not appear. She had taken a goo creature and forced herself into a deep sleep for 3 days and 3 nights. I felt sorry for her, and silently resolved that I would never treat her unfairly in the future. To be honest, Willow was indeed well suited for marriage. She was an almost flawless woman. Outside, she was an asset to my career. Inside, she cooked and managed the household impeccably, so perfectly that there was nothing to criticize. Except that in bed, she seemed somewhat inexperienced. That night, the lights were dim. Willow half knelt in front of me, carefully massaging my legs. I looked down at her. Her fingers were cool, trembling slightly. I could feel her nervousness. I lifted her chin and leaned down to kiss her lips. Her entire body tensed. I smiled and said, Willow, I've forgotten many things, but my heart seems to still remember you. It's beating very fast. Could you help me calm it? Before I could finish speaking, she leaned in closer. As Willow rose, I heard the faint sound of bells colliding. Clink. Was it Anna? No. Willow stepped out of her short skirt. Silk slipped from her shoulders. What met my eyes was a delicate butterfly bell body chain draped across her pale skin. Willow worked out regularly, and the chain traced the elegant curves of her figure. Under the dim light, it shimmered with a lavish golden sheen. It fell from her neck, cascading down and gathering at her slender waist. As Willow's breathing rose and fell, The butterfly bells swayed gently. Clink. The sound made one's heart pound. Willow pressed her lips together and said, "Anna said you like this kind of sound." Her voice was restrained, though faintly hoarse. "I'm not inferior to her in any way." She leaned closer, her voice calm yet stubborn. "George, ever since I was very young, I decided I would marry you. I studied finance and management. I learned to cook the dishes you like. I cultivated your hobbies. Everything I've done was for the day I could be with you. If fate deliberately placed Anna between us, then I accept that. Because heaven has already compensated me. I truly believe that being given another chance was meant for me to become better, and to win back your love. I will do so well that you won't have the energy to look at anyone else." The bullet comments began scrolling again. "You can't step into the same river twice, but the female lead insists on repeating history. Female lead in the first second, this life I'll respect his choice and wish him well. Next second, I will win back your love and make you see no one else." Another comment read, "Wait, doesn't anyone think she's calculating? Anna wears silver, and since she sees herself as the official wife, she wears gold." As the comments flashed by, Willow placed the end of the chain into my palm. She said softly, "My loyalty, my pride, everything I have, tonight, I entrust all of it to you. I have no regrets." Chapter 11. Extra story. Last night was a bit too ridiculous. Anna, trying to win favor, insisted on performing one of her mountain song dances. Only, as she danced, the atmosphere gradually changed. Recently, Willow Lu had been planning to transition the Lu family's business toward the Wang family. She wanted a child, so the child would have the best possible security. So she had been coming home very late. When she returned that night, somewhat displeased, she joined in. The commotion lasted the entire night. The next morning, when I woke up, I saw Willow already dressed neatly, sitting on the sofa, making Anna stand facing the wall in punishment. When she saw me come downstairs, she rose naturally, adjusted my collar, and tied the tie I would wear to today's conference. While fixing my tie, she didn't forget to reprimand Anna. "Anna, restrain yourself," Anna protested. "Why? Gio likes me." Willow gave a cold laugh. Her phoenix eyes narrowed slightly, her presence oppressive. "Because he is the head of the Wang family, and my legal husband. George has a business negotiation and a banquet today. If my husband lacks energy because of you, you'll answer for it." Anna was completely suppressed. She puffed up her cheeks in anger. Her watery peach blossom eyes turned toward me for help. I pinched the bridge of my nose and said, "Anna is 3 years younger than you. She's simple-hearted. Can you stop picking on her?" Willow's hand paused. She let out a cold snort. "Fine, you may stand up for now. I'll deal with you later." Anna immediately ran to me and wrapped her arms around mine. Acting spoiled, she said, "No need for you to intervene. I'll punish myself tonight." Well, that night, Anna did indeed reflect on herself. In the 5th year of our marriage, we had a son. He was cheerful and lively. His name was Mario. When he turned 3, Willow and I took him to an interview for the most prestigious kindergarten. The interviewer asked about his family members. Mario sat upright in his chair, blinking his big eyes as he spoke loudly. "Thankfully, we had rehearsed this question at home," he said. "I have a daddy and a mommy. Mommy teaches me to read, write, and play the piano." Suddenly, the little chubby boy tilted his head, blinked, and held up 2 pudgy fingers. In a sweet, innocent voice, he declared, "Oh right, I have 2 mommies." "What the?" I quickly signaled Willow to cover his mouth, but the child, oblivious, continued loudly, "The bad mommy makes me learn English and always hogs daddy. She won't let daddy tell me bedtime stories. And not only that." Mario suddenly lowered his voice, looking like a tiny adult gossiping. "The bad mommy always makes mistakes. Last time I heard mommy say she did something wrong and asked daddy to punish her however he wanted. The next day I asked what she did wrong, but she wouldn't tell me. PFF. I nearly spat out the mouthful of water I had just taken. Willow's ears turned bright red instantly. Her cool, beautiful face changed color. The interviewer's expression toward us shifted immediately. Willow hurried to explain. "That is part of our family's unique educational approach." But Mario wasn't finished. His eyes lit up, and his tone suddenly became cheerful again. "I also have a pretty mommy. Pretty mommy is the best. She catches lots of colorful bugs for me to play with, and she secretly gives me chocolate. She can even leap across rooftops. I like pretty mommy the most." The interviewer looked utterly confused. Willow bit her lip, then revealed a graceful, composed smile. She said, "The child was talking about our nanny. She's relatively young and dotes on him too much, so he got the wrong idea. When I get back, I'll definitely set the household straight." The words, "set the household straight," were spoken through gritted teeth. The bullet comments were laughing like crazy. Some bullet comments read, "Unbelievable. The female lead can still keep the situation under control for now. When she gets back, She'll punish her son and make him copy texts together with Anna. The female lead said it's all because Anna is uneducated, always filling her son's head with all sorts of nonsense.